With the scheduling capabilities of Dynamics 365 Field Service, dispatchers have everything that they need right at their disposal to handle any number of different scheduling situations or anomalies that may arise throughout the day. When the dispatcher first comes into the schedule board, they'll see a list of resources. If they want to further expand or filter that list of resources, they can use the filter and map view over on the left-hand side. As they click on the filter view, they will be able to filter resources in line and have the schedule board reflect those changes as they make those filters. It'll make it much easier for the dispatcher to find and locate a resource based upon their individual or unique needs. If a dispatcher wants to gain more insight on a resource, they can right-click on the resource and bring up their resource card. It'll show them not only the skills that they possess and the roles that are assigned to them, but it'll also give them a means to communicate with that resource directly. And finally, when they click on the map view, they'll get a bird's eye view of all of their individual resources and requirements that need to be scheduled inside the application. I can actually see the routes that each one of the technicians are taking as they proceed throughout their day working on individual items. If I want to overlay real-time traffic, I can bring traffic information into the application and see any road closures that might impact my ability to go ahead and schedule. As items come in through the day, it's important to be able to identify those items and quickly get them scheduled to the right person as quickly as possible. To assist in that, with the schedule board, we have what's called the Find Availability function. When the dispatcher clicks on Find Availability, it's going to open the Schedule Assistant. The Schedule Assistant will go out and it will search the schedules to find the best and most qualified people who have availability to work on those items during a specified period of time. So as I can see here, I have Matthew and I have Van and I have Brady, both have time. Derek has availability, but Derek does not have availability until the next day. So it looks like it would take about 15 minutes for Matthew to get to where he wants to go. It looks like it's relatively close, so we can go ahead and hit book. That'll assign this to Matthew, and now Matthew will be associated with that particular item, and his calendar and item will update accordingly based upon that being selected. From time to time, dispatchers will encounter situations that will impact how things are available to be scheduled. For example, a technician could be running late, or somebody could call in and cancel, and we now need to find a substitute or replacement resource. Within the schedule board, we can right-click on a specific appointment and choose Substitute Resource. And when we choose Find Substitution, it'll use the same Schedule Assistant engine to go out and find any qualified resources that have availability during that specified period of time that we could easily assign the item to. Once I've identified somebody that I want to substitute as the resource, I can hover over that person and choose substitute, and it will now change the booking and associate it to the new person inside the application. Challenges can arise in scenarios where people need to schedule multiple resources at the same time. It might be a situation like this where I have a static crew, like a cleaning crew, who is always going to be scheduled for the same thing together. But at the same point in time, sometimes you might run into situations where maybe you need to schedule, different resource types together. You need a facility or a room or a car, and you need individual people that meet specific criteria. With the schedule board, I can identify what specific crew I want to schedule, and I can book that crew accordingly. The nice thing about booking the crew is I also have the ability to dive into the crew and look at the team members that are associated with it. So as I expand the crew, I can see the specific members, and I can see that the booking that was created was automatically pushed down to every member of that crew. Finally, I may need to dynamically assign people to work on an item based upon the specific situation. The system will go out and identify all of the resources that meet all the individual needs. So since this situation required an engineer, a technician, and an architect, I was able to see that I can book all three of these people together at different time intervals based upon those individual situations. So as you can see, whether it's having to schedule an individual person or be able to group together and schedule multiple people at the same time, or maybe it's just a situation where you have to deal with those little anomalies, those cancellations or items that come up. With the schedule board and Dynamics 365 for Field Service, dispatchers have everything that they need in one spot that they can leverage to save themselves more time, save the organization money, and manage more resources across the board.